All right, Shalom, this is Brother Shamar from the Phoenix Camp. And with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. Then writing to Lest, this is Matthew 25 and 21. And it says, His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I'll make thee ruler over many things. Enter down to the joy of the Lord. And that's going to be the reward for those that use their faith, that increase their faith and their talents while they were here in the service of the Most High, man. Those men that utilized every talent that they had and did this work to the best of their ability. Because this faith was given to us to produce fruit, and fruit is basically growth. It's doing the work. It's creating works. It's these videos that we make. It's living the proper lifestyle. It's having the correct doctrine. It's having the right spirit, man. These are fruits of the spirit. So that reward is going to be given to the men that labor, man. The men that labor honestly, the men that labor with integrity, the men that labor within the standards of this truth. And what you have nowadays is a lot of men, they're not laboring for the Lord. They're laboring for their own belly. And as we continue to go on, you're gonna see more and more of that, man. So the warning is this. The warning is that those men that don't serve the Lord faithfully and honestly with integrity, there's gonna be a judgment upon them. And we're seeing the men be exposed. We're seeing men getting exposed. We're seeing false teachers getting exposed. We're seeing all of that. Wild prophecies are happening. So you got to be careful of how you receive this word, how you teach this word, and how you present yourself as a living sacrifice. And pride is the number one thing out there, man. Pride is the number one thing out there. Let's get Second Chronicles 31 and 20, because this is an example of how you're supposed to serve the Lord. This is an example of the standard that was set. So this is Second Chronicles 31 and 20. And it says, And thus did Hezekiah throughout all Judah, and wrought that which was good and right and true before the Lord his power. And in every work that he began in the service of the house of Yahweh, and in the law and the commandments, to seek his power, he did it with all his heart and prospered. So that's the key, man. That's basically what it is. That's what the Lord's looking for. He's looking for you to do this work with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. That's why the scripture says in the New Testament to love the Most High with all your heart, soul, and mind. Let me get it real quick. This is Matthew 22 and 37, and it says, Thou shalt love the Lord thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. So that's the approach. That's the standard that's necessary in service to the Most High. And that's why we got to constantly examine ourselves. Because as a lot of people like to point fingers. And the first finger that should be pointed is to your own self, man. I'm not saying that certain men shouldn't be approved and rebuked. But what I am saying is that you gotta examine yourself first. You gotta examine if you're, because at the end of the day, those men that teach false doctrine, they were set up to teach that false doctrine. Basically, they're following their lot. So that's why when I hear a bugged out doctrine, when brothers hear a bugged out doctrine, it really doesn't. It angers us because you hate seeing anything going against the truth. But also at the same time, it really don't faze us because we expect those kind of things to happen. We put it plainly, we expect niggers to act like niggers. Spicks act like spicks. We expect you 2/3 to act like 2/3. We expect you to be proud. We expect you to be wicked. We expect you to be seeking an excuse according to your own will. We expect all those things from you because when you establish that you don't teach the proper breakdown of the Bible, then we know that you're going to go off in other areas, that you're going off in everything else. That's why we opened up with Matthew 25 and 21, which I'm going to get back again. Matthew 25 and 21. So what the scripture is saying, and what back again, the Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. So let's run that back again. It says, Matthew 25 and 21, it says, his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I'll make thee ruler over many things, and thou the joy of the Most High. Joy of the Lord. It says over a few things because thou hast been faithful over a few things. So those small things, those small details. You know, the scripture says a little leaven leavens the whole lump. So if you don't have integrity in all aspects of your life, that's gonna affect your teaching. Because like we brought up before, wisdom doesn't dwell. I'm just going ahead and get it. This is the this is Wisdom of Solomon. What chapter is this? 1 and 4. It says, "For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter." So if you're malicious in the area of life, we're gonna get a definition for that word malicious. Let's get the definition for the word malicious. It says harboring ill will or enmity without provocation, and that's what you see these bug outs these bug outs of false doctrines. That's like a common characteristic in them. They harbor ill will towards somebody or someone, and most of the time that somebody or someone is great millstone. You know, so wisdom doesn't. That's why they can't teach it correctly, man. Because wisdom does not dwell with a harboring ill will of spirit without provocation or enmity without provocation, malviolent in the extreme, malignant in heart, proceeding from extreme hatred or ill will, dictated by malice as a malicious report. Well, let's get that word malevolent. I think it is. Let's see what that says. Live. It says let's see here. Having evil disposition toward another or others, wishing evil to others, ill disposed or disposed to injure others, a malevolent heart rejoicing in the misfortune of others, unfavorable, unpropitious, bringing calamity. So that there you got it right there, man. Let's run that back again for into malicious soul. We just brought out the definition of that word and what it means. Wisdom shall not enter nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. And basically, those men are subject unto sin. Going to a club on the day of Passover as being subject unto sin. Saying you can have sex on the Sabbath is being subject unto sin. You know, and so on and so forth. And other false teachers out there, man, that are doing the same thing. Those men were subject unto sin. You know? So that's how it starts. It starts with the details of their life, the details of their lifestyle, the details of their conduct. Because wisdom is not going to enter into a man that's not correct, or not to his best ability trying to be correct, because we're still in this human flesh, and we're still going to go off from time to time. But the difference is this: there's going to be men that do it deliberately. They're going to be making excuses for the behavior, and there's going to be men just go off because we just go off. We're just in the flesh. We don't intentionally tend to do it. But those men are those are going to be those men that make excuses for themselves, that justify their actions according to their own will, and that's what we see going on today. So I'm gonna get 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter. This is 2 Corinthians, Salak 5 and 9. It says, "Wherefore we labor that whether present or absent we may be accepted of Him." So that's the mind state. That's part of the mind state. You know, you should labor to be accepted of the Most High, to be pleasing to the Most High. And that's going to start with your daily conduct, man. That's going to start with your daily conduct. When you walking as righteously as you can, then the Lord will give you wisdom. Because like we spread in the wisdom of Solomon, wisdom will not enter into a malicious soul, man. So you gotta have that right spirit within you to begin with. And if you're over there talking all this mess, then if you're living a wicked lifestyle and talking all this mess, then guess what, man? You're not gonna receive that wisdom. And then, like I said, those false teachers, the false teachers that have those doctrines, their ill will is always harbored towards a great millstone. Now, what does that tell you? That's their common characteristic. That's their common trait. Their ill will is always harbored towards great millstone. But I'm gonna get a few more scriptures. We're gonna get 1 Corinthians 4 and 5, I think it is. I don't know if you got it ready, but I'm gonna get it again. 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. That says, therefore judge nothing before the time until the Lord come, who will also bring to light the hidden things of darkness, and will make manifest the counsel of the hearts, and then shall every man have praise of Yahweh. So now you know that the Most High is coming back, man. You know that he's coming back very soon, because those hidden things are being brought out. Those things are being revealed. And what's going on right now is the Most High is in Jerusalem with candlesticks, man. Starting at his house first, starting in Jerusalem with candlesticks. Go ahead and get that. That's what we see going on. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I think it's in This is Zephaniah 1 and 12, and it shall come to pass at the time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled on their leaves, that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Why? Because they had no fear of the Lord. That's why they continually set themselves out to break the law, even though they say they're so with the law. And that's talking about IUIC, Sakari. They claim to have such a foothold on the law, but yet you see them breaking the law. So what does that tell you, man? They said the Lord will not do good, neither will do evil, because they think there's going to be no consequence for them breaking the law. There's going to be no consequences for their self-justification. Then we get 2 Corinthians 10 and 15, I think it was 18, something like that. This 2 Corinthians 10 and 15, I think it is. No, verse 18. It says, For not he that commendeth himself is approved, but whom the Lord commendeth. So those men commend themselves. So they're not getting Yahweh Shai's seal of approval, because they're not pleasing to the Lord. Because you're supposed to come this truth with a humble and meek spirit. It said, but whom the Lord commendeth. So the Lord is going to put the seal of approval stamp, that mark, that spiritual mark on the men that are according to his will. Because that's who he's going to call brothers, man. So let's get 1 Peter 1 and 7. This is 1 Peter 1 and 7. It says that the trial of your faith be more much precious than gold that perishes, though be tried with fire. That's what happened right now. We're going a trial. It's like a trial of faith is happening. It's going to continue to happen until the end. Everything we do is a trial of faith, man. You gotta understand that. Because we can't. Why is it a trial of faith? Because we can't keep the law perfectly. That's part of why it's the trial of faith. Because you're always tempted to go off, man. That's a constant trial of faith. So we're constantly being tried, man. But there's going to be, even extreme trials as the days push on further. And that's why you see these people getting exposed. The trial of your faith be much more precious than gold that perishes, they'll be tried with fire and be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, man. So that's what it is. So with that, one more scripture, I'm going to close it up. Matthew 28:34. This is is Matthew 28. Was it Mark? Shalak. Matthew 25 and 29. It says, "For unto everyone that has shall be given." So if you have this faith, you're gonna be given more faith, and he shall have abundance. From him that has not shall be taken away even that which he has. So either you're gonna have it or you don't. Either it's been set up for you to understand this truth correctly, or you're not. And that's a scary thing about this truth, man. Because this is all a play. This is all a drama. And in a good movie, in a good drama, you have all kinds of conflicts and oppositions. So that's what we're seeing right now. There's conflict and opposition, trials. It will be a boring movie if the hero just won the fight, easily won the fight in the first few minutes of the movie. Or like, say for instance, a boxing match. It'll be a boring boxing match if the contender, or the fighter, he won the fight with the first punch. It'd be a boring movie. You want to see conflict. You want to see opposing forces going against each other. You want to see men reaching deep down to get that win. And that's the movie we're playing out right now. It would be a boring movie if it wasn't that way. So that's why there's so much dramatic events that happen, man. So much opposing forces that are in play. With that being said, well, you know what? I'm gonna go down to 34, because this is the point I wanted to get. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, you blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you for the foundation of the world. So it's prepared for the elect, man. It's prepared for the elect. They're the ones that are going to be the Rockies of the movie, the victors that go through all the trials and tribulations and come out on top. And everything else is just there to make the movie interesting, man. Whether you want to receive it or not. But that being said, it's a real quick lesson. Most I wouldn't hope was edifying. That will give honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.